Welcome, welcome, one and all. Ah, let's all take a deep breath together. And as we take a deep breath, I'd like you to do just what I did, which is to inhale and then sigh. Let's do that 3 times together as a community, and then I'll tell you why. Hmm. Maybe even put your hand up by the base of your throat when you sigh. Feel the vibration, breathing in. One more time. Mm. Taking 3 deep breaths, friends. It's so simple. It takes almost no effort, and yet it is paramount to activating the parasympathetic nervous systems in our bodies, that part of our body that helps regulate and put into a practice of restoration the other part of the nervous system, the sympathetic nervous system, that has a tendency to be on the lookout. Now we want this to be in our bodies. We need our sympathetic nervous systems, friends. We want to be on the lookout. There are dangers. There are things to watch for. The problem is when the sympathetic nervous system is activated and doesn't know how to turn off. So we're thinking about dangers that aren't there. We're almost creating them in our imagination to be afraid of. And so we begin to live in this chronic heightened state of nerves and agitation and maybe a little bit of hostility and aggression. So by simply taking 3 deep breaths, sighing it out, we give ourselves a bolus of oxygen, B, a reminder that we have a sympathetic nervous system that likes to heal itself and restore, and C, we get to hear ourselves. I'm okay. I can relax for just a moment. Powerful. So let's use that to check in to the rest of the body as we go into this beautiful practice today. How is your body today? Are you noticing any tightness? Just have a quick look-see through your body. And if you need to move a little bit, do get up and shake, do the dog wiggle and shake it out. It's very helpful. And there's a time and a place for sitting on a cushion very nobly with lots of stillness. And there's also a time to use movement and kind of shaking it out as part of the meditation too. And the reason why I'm motivated to share that with you is because in the Spokane Sangha for the month of December, we are exploring the 5 elements: earth, air, fire, water, space. I like to call it mystery. It's also referred to as ether. This week we've been exploring Earth. And today I'd like to go into that a little bit more. Yesterday, our practice was exploring Earth as an emotional landscape. Finding a landscape using your imagination and determining what are the conditions of that landscape that elicit feelings of joy, peace, agitation, sorrow, melancholy, worry, fear. And what's so intriguing to me is the landscape that gives me so much peace is for another person a landscape that showed them aversion. Fascinating. Would you look at that? We're all so different. So the invitation is to find what is a landscape with which you resonate and what are the conditions of that. What is a landscape where you experience some aversion and why is that? I find this so helpful when I'm dealing with difficult emotions like envy. Have you ever considered a landscape, an earthscape, that when you look at it, stirs up and helps you figure out what it is to feel envy? I can tell you right now, when I go to highly manicured parks and beautiful gardens that have a staff, envy arises. And I'm like, wow, would you look at that? What is that all about? And it has to do with neatness and tidiness and resources. And it stirs up some of my stuff related to scarcity and insecurity. Have you ever thought about a landscape, an earthscape that stirs up feelings of resentment? Or what does resentment feel like to you? And when you feel into it, can you assign a landscape to it? This is something to play with. And it's a wonderful way of working with those difficult, conflicted emotions, the ones that we're nervous about, the ones that we avoid. And this is a way to empower ourselves to go to partner with the earth and say, wait a second, I can work with this emotion. The earth can be my ally. I am the earth. We are kin. And maybe if I go to the earth, it will help me better understand myself. Imagine. Today, we're going to bring forward a way to, again, connect with the earth in terms of movement. And all I want to do for the next few moments of silence is leave it at that. Just keep it nice and open-ended. And I want you to feel invited to go into your own mind and heart space. Trust the wisdom that's coming forward. When you ask yourself the question, what does movement mean to me in my body? And is there something out in the earth, even in my own landscape, the landscape of my home or my neighborhood or my town? Is there movement in me that I can see reflected in the earth around me? And if so, What is it? What are the conditions for it? See what you see. Notice what you notice. And invite your practice as it is to be perfect. Should you wander away, smile the moment you notice this. Take a couple of deep breaths, sigh it out, and return. Enjoy. Friends, I'd like to take a step toward the conclusion of our meditation today with a little enactment in the body that I invite you to join with me if it feels comfortable for you. This is an enactment that I really enjoy that helps me hold, literally, embody, if you will, the nature of duality and the nature of non-duality, wholeness. And so, on one hand, I'm holding the earth. Its silky smoothness, its roughness, its harshness, its light and dark, all of those pairs of opposites. And in my other hand, I'm holding myself and all of my pairs of opposites, which mirror the earth. Look at how they mirror each other when you put your hands facing each other. And now I'm going to put my hands together, but I'm not going to have them touch. I'm going to have a little bit of space there. See that space? A little bit of space for things to unfurl and unfold and yet to be revealed. And with my thumbs, I'm going to place it at the level of my heart. The earth is a sacred place. All of its life is sacred. I am part of that life. You are part of that life. We are part of life and therefore sacred. To the sacredness of you, Buddhas to be, I bow deeply. Let's end our practice today with a dedication of merit. And today I'd like to chant. And I'd like to chant one of my favorite chants, again, inspired by another Sangha member who spoke so eloquently and tenderly about experiencing a recent time of not being able to take refuge. What an incredible thing to say. I was not able to take refuge. You know, that does happen. It can happen for a year. It can happen for many years. It can happen for a moment, even. And so this is a chant to remind us that in any given moment, taking refuge in the three jewels is always available. Taking refuge in the Buddha, the one who was able to awaken to the causes and conditions of his own misery and malcontent. He was so comprehensive in his understanding that he shared what it is to understand the causes and conditions of suffering as a human. Amazing. Those teachings that are alive today in you and in me are the Dharma, the instrument of your life. Your life is the instrument with which you experiment with truth. That's Thich Nhat Hanh. Amazing. And then, of course, the Sangha, the community of wise friends. And the community, the Sangha, isn't a community of like-minded friends. That's one kind of community. But the Sangha is a community of all different kinds of minds. So when we have challenging minds in our community, they help keep us awake and alert. So let's chant to the three jewels and let's take refuge in them. And this chant is very simple. It's Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, and Namo Sanghaya. We're going to chant this 5 times. And I'm going to put my hands together in prayer pose, breathing in. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Dharmaya. Namo Sanghaya. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Dharmaya. Namo Sanghaya. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Dharmaya. Namo Sanghaya. Oh, my voice faded there. Invited to be perfect, friends. Thank you so much for your practice today. I hope to see you on Sunday. And if not, then maybe another time. Until then, be blessed. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.